What's up, guys? It's Motorco here, and I'm super excited. This is the announcements for the Final Fantasy X event, as well as the new release of cards has been announced. Taking a look at the Final Fantasy X cards first. Well, hold on. Let's go to the biggest news. The biggest news is that if you purchase 12,000 Magicite, you get basically Ace Striker for free without having to worry about a pull. This is kind of a steep cost. I'm not sure how many people are going to be willing to invest in this. I know me personally, I may be able to do it. I don't know. We'll see. But that's pretty cool because you don't have to pull and you get to keep your Magicite to do whatever the heck you want with it. And so as a result, you're going to see, you're going to have people have a chance to use their Magicite for, grow stars to catch up or whatever if they choose to unlock a striker. It's up to you to figure out whether or not he's worth it. I'll be the first to tell you he's kind of an average job. He's not going to come in and do anything special. So if you don't feel like he's worth the price, then definitely don't worry about it. But for, those super whales out there, they'll probably get them and stuff as just kind of a sign of, the super whale. So, anyways, the Final Fantasy Legend cards are here. During the event, when you do a greater summon or a 4-star boosted summon, you will get one additional card. Until you get all 4 cards, no same card comes twice. So, if you do a greater ability summon or a 4-star boosted summon, you'll get one of these cards until you do 4, and then you'll have them all. So people who purchase Magicite are probably going to be doing greater ability summons to try and get these cards. That's kind of a steep cost to get these, but I believe that they're worth it. The Cone Water attack with the D-Brave Yuna is kind of meh, but Riku is a 2-turn stun with a cone attack, and she's pretty damn strong. She's going to be pretty good in multiplayer, especially on breakers, basically any ranger class, because what they can do is target the boss, and then they'll stun the guardians for 2 actions, and that'll kind of reduce some of the effects of the guardians and things, and so it has some usefulness in multiplayer, and it obviously has use in single player. So it's a fairly good card. The Cone Fire attack plus D barrier is also fairly good. I'm not completely sold on it. YRP ready is going to be a fairly good card for certain classes, particularly ultimate focus classes or classes that have high attack naturally. And so I really feel like YRP ready could see some use depending on what class you are and things. I feel like Samurai with YRP is going to be a thing for at least one of the towers within the next month or two. I don't know if it's going to be a thing for this next tower, but definitely later on down the road when we get an Earth boss or something that Samurai can fight, YRP ready will more than likely be used by Samurais because it gives so many good effects offensively and kind of helps their offensive capabilities, which can lack sometimes. The biggest news, though, is that they have released the break defense down cards, the area effect area fire attack effect, break defense down cards that I showed you guys earlier this month. I did a highlight video on that earlier this month. These cards are very, very strong, guys. A lot of these cards are still being used on the Japanese server in multiplayer. They are that strong. Um, they pretty much are an absolute necessity to get almost right away for multiplayer. They could see some single player use. They're just that strong. Especially Leviathan is a good one to have because for mages, because they tend to like to use VNF anyways. Um, so Leviathan is going to be one that you're going to particularly want to focus on trying to get. Unfortunately, right now, certain elements are going to be um, cards that are early acquisition cards. Titan is one of the better cards for Samurai, and as a result, they probably just decided to make these cards early acquisition cards. Maybe so that they don't affect the tower so much, but even still, they're probably going to make a splash. The ability cards that came out as well are Snipe, D-Brave, and Slow. Um, I'm not sure if D-Brave is actually going to be a thing. It could possibly be a thing for bosses that rely on physical attacks. Um, so that's something to kind of keep an eye on. But I wouldn't necessarily pull just for that specific card. Now, Slow, on the other hand, is pretty freaking good. Um, it can potentially do a lot for you, especially if you bring a Slow with a stun and all kinds of other stuff. There's some potential for that card to be abused. We'll see exactly how it's utilized. I'm sure some players will try and figure out a way to make it a thing. Um, it says here it says here that Hermes, Susano, and Nekomato will continue to be early acquisition cards. The cards Alexander Carbuncle and Glacia Labelos will become available in the Ability Shop Thursday, November 24th at 7 p.m. UTC -8. So um, it'll be available at 10 p.m. Eastern on Thursday, November 24th. I'm hella excited. That's Thanksgiving though, so it's going to kind of interrupt our Turkey Day a little bit, but by then, most of the festivities should be over. Guys, these normal cards that are coming out, purchase all of them. Well, I shouldn't say purchase all of them. Purchase all of the ones that are relevant to the classes that you have at 8 star, okay? If you have warriors and stuff and you know, you got wind effects, purchase them, okay? If you want to play an attacker role, you're going to need these cards. Attacker roles, this is like going to be your bread and butter basically. Because the effects on these cards are so strong. It's going to make 3-star fights a little bit easier. They're not going to be necessarily as hard because the guardians are going to break faster. The boss is going to break faster. I mean, it's just going to make everything life a little bit easier for everybody. You just have to be judicious about when you use this on the boss as a break card, because if he's on cooldown and you guys go to break, then it's not going to do anything for you. However, these cards are low attack, high break cards, so they're break focus cards. So because they're break focus cards, it's going to be a lot easier to break things down. Obviously, break orange bars and things. So either way, they're really good. Plus, when you augment them to 4 stars, they're only 4 orbs. You can't beat it. 4 orbs for an AoE, and you get a status effect. Plus, it's a good breaker card. It's just absolutely insane value. There's not going to be anything better in the game for quite some time. These cards are 100% worth augmenting. Um, and so definitely focus on these cards. I can't stress that enough. Anyways, guys, that's all I really have for this video. I just wanted to make a quick announcement about the Final Fantasy X event. Um, try and do some greater ability pulls, because these cards are totally worth it. I wouldn't tell you guys otherwise. Plus, you have a chance to pull Hermes if you haven't already. So I think right about now is a good time to go ahead and do some greater ability summons to get these Final Fantasy X cards, to get these special ability cards. And you're gonna have to purchase Magicite if you want to get Titus anyway. So, doing 2 greater ability pulls with the Magicite you use to pull Titus is not necessarily a bad idea. Or maybe just doing 1 and then purchasing 4 growth stars, which is probably what I'll end up doing. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If enjoy the Final Fantasy X event, and I'll see you guys next video.